Hello friends, welcome to this discussion on current affairs. Last week we discussed a bit about gold. That was in response to a student query. We kind of discussed why our ancients chose gold as the currency, as the investment of, as an investment vehicle. And there was this query about, whether the person should invest in, physical gold or digital gold. And at that time, I had told you that we will not act as investment advisors. Sticking to that particular promise, I'll bring to you a bit more about gold, because that's what we promised you in the next, in the previous session. We told you that in the next session, that is today's session, we will focus on why people invest in gold. Now, why gold was chosen is what we discussed, but in this session, I'm going to discuss for the next 7-8 minutes, why people have chosen, why people invest in gold. Now, there are reasons as to why people invest in gold. Now, let me tell you the most important reason. That's anybody can buy gold. You don't require technical knowledge. To buy shares, you require technical knowledge, isn't it? You need to have understanding of the market, if not an understanding of the market, because nobody really understands the market. Experts who claim to understand the market, well, they do understand a few things of the, but there are a lot of variables that could be beyond their understanding. But here, to buy gold, you don't require any sort of understanding. You don't have to understand where gold comes from, what goes into it and all that. That chemical part, no. You want to buy gold, you could simply walk into a store and buy gold. That's the good thing about gold. You don't need to be an expert. To buy real estate, yes, you need to be quite comfortable with the kind of, let's say, in the land, the market around it, what kinds of things come, what is the market price and everything. A lot more, basically, the regulations and the laws and all that. As far as gold is concerned, you don't require that kind of technical knowledge. Now, so anyone can buy gold. This is a very important thing. Gold never goes bankrupt. Now, what do you mean by bankrupt? When bankruptcy, see, if I declare bankruptcy, I would have more liabilities than, my assets. Okay, a company declares bankruptcy, it would mean that it has accumulated more liabilities, more loans to pay than the kind of assets it has to that would help it repay the loans. Now, the idea here is that it never goes bankrupt. Why does it never go bankrupt? Because gold always has an inherent value in it. Now, it does not go bankrupt. Like, you may have a blue chip company. Now, you may say that, this company will never go bankrupt. Well, we have heard this in the past. You see, there was a company called Lehman Brothers. Lehman Brothers. You could write with a double N also, no harm. Lehman Brothers, which was an investment bank in the US. Fair? This was the investment bank. It was kind of investment bank that defined an age. It was, I think, a 134-year-old investment bank on the Wall Street. Now, this bank went bankrupt overnight. Trust me, it went bankrupt overnight. Of course, there were a lot of things that contributed to the sudden, bankruptcy, but you have to understand that people who had put in money in this, people who had put in money, in terms of investment in this bank, who had deposited their money, who had put money as trusting this bank that it would invest their money in the right way, and the people who had bought shares of Lehman Brothers, think about all of them. They simply lost all their money. But in the case of gold, it never goes bankrupt. In fact, when other things go bankrupt, gold gets a higher value actually. Now, it's always good to have cash. Cash is a liquid asset. You could always have cash in your hand, and you could always, buy something with cash. But after cash, what's the most liquid asset? Gold. Gold is a universal currency. Anyone, absolutely anyone, can use gold to buy anything in the world. Please understand, when I say anything, I'm saying that in an emergency situation, if I don't have, let's say, cash with me, but I have a ring, yes, I have an ingot, a bar of gold, I could use it to generate cash or to buy something in exchange with it. But please understand one more thing here. People buy gold primarily for the reason that it can be converted into cash immediately. And that's the reason why a lot of people, buy gold. that in case there is a problem situation, they may be able to, pawn gold, PAWN, that is Girvi Rakhna, they can actually put it as a security and generate some cash. Other things may not generate that much cash, that kind of percentage of cash of the total value of the asset that you put as security. But yes, in the case of gold, it happens. Okay, so it's a very, very liquid asset. Yeah, inflation reduces the value of money. So what happens during inflation? You have money with you, you have cash with you. Last year, you had 100 rupees. Today also, you have the same 100 rupees. Last year, inflation rate was, let's say, 1%. Today, it is 5%. So last year, prices went up by 1%. Today, they have gone up by 5%. It means that the value of the purchasing value of your paisa has gone down by 5% today. But in the past, it was only 1%. So your money buys less. Your money buys less. So the purchasing power of money decreases when prices of goods and services increase. You buy less and less when prices increase. Now, at the same time, when I say you buy less and less with the same amount of money, in those situations, the best thing to do for most people is to buy gold, because as I told you, gold rarely loses value. And this is one of the reasons why, the gold prices are rising. There is inflation in large parts of the world. You have in Turkey, official inflation rate is about 80%, unofficially it's like 200% kind of thing. In Venezuela, officially it's about 150%, unofficially it's about 2000%. In America, it's about 4-5%. In India, the inflation is about 4. Wholesale insurance inflation is about a little over 4% or something. So as prices are rising, the value of money is purchasing value of money is decreasing. In that case, people like to buy gold so that there is some stability. Because the value of gold is either stable or goes up. Very rarely it falls. Look at that, hedging. Now, what's hedging? Hedging is an investment strategy that is used to reduce risk. So you have 1 lakh rupees, and if you invest, let's say, in a stock market, if the market goes up, great for you. If it goes down, well, you may lose all your money. So what you could do is to spread your money in different investment vehicles. You invest your money different, in different places. Like, for example, rather than putting all your eggs in one basket in the stock market, you could put 2 eggs. You could put 10,000, let's not say eggs. You could put, say, 20K in the stock market, 20K in the mutual funds, 20K in gold, 20K else fixed deposit, 20K somewhere else. So you could always spread the risk. So even if there is a loss from any of these investments, you could recover that loss with profits from other investments. So people buy gold primarily as a hedging tool to cut down investment risk. Okay. Yeah, this is probably the most important reason why people today buy appreciation price. Gold prices usually rise. They usually rise. Now, I'll tell you in the next slide, I have a couple of measures, a couple of graphs which I have taken from the internet. These are not mine, but they are from the internet. And gold prices, they show how price of gold has moved over the years. Okay. Remember, my friends, ladies and gentlemen, please keep in mind, this is not investment advice. This is just to tell you how global economic factors play a vital role in the appreciation or depreciation of price of gold. Since we are focused only on appreciation here, gold as an investment tool, central banks buy gold. America has more than 8,300 tons of gold. Okay, India is getting there. India has, I think, the 6th largest gold reserves in the world. So a lot of central banks also are buying gold, and this is one of the reasons why gold price is rising. Gold prices are rising primarily because of not inflation, but because of the huge demand for gold by central banks. Yes. So how much price has increased? What prices, what's the gold price that has increased? So internationally, they don't say gram. In India, we say gram. 1 tola is 10 grams, 1 severi is 8 grams, but in international markets, it is ounce. Okay. 1 ounce equals 28.24 grams. I have given all the measures. I have done a lot of homework on this, and because your queries help us bring these things to you, because it is not something that we enjoy taking a class for, but it is enjoyable to share our learning with you to clear a doubt, to help you understand things better. Okay, not just because we know we are sharing, it is to address your queries, clear your doubts. So what has changed in gold prices? See this. I took it from a website called gold.org. Yeah, goldprice.org. Look at this. This is 2 days back. Today, forget the today part. Fair? See this. In 20 years, gold price has gone up by 1000%. Can you believe that? 1000%. It's very rare that you would find an investment that would give you 1000% return. Okay, but look at this. This is 1000% here. Okay, 1000% here. But in last 1 year, it has gone up by 20%, nearly 20%. This is something very important. But again, you see this last 1 month, prices have gone down by a little over 3%. Historically, gold prices have gone down. In the last 20 years, gold prices went down. I think one major drop was in 2013. Otherwise, gold prices have been rising. So even if you minimize, if you keep aside 2013's fall in gold price, other years the price had increased, and see this basically. Yeah. So in 20 years, if you had 28 grams, the value of the 28 grams would have gone up by 1,75,000 rupees in 20 years. That's a huge number, my friends. Yeah. 1000% is huge increase, isn't it? Now let me bring to you another graph. This is from Fortune magazine. I found this graph. This is 2023. It ends in 2023. This is for 10 grams basically. 10 grams. Yeah, 10 grams. So rupees for 10 grams, 61,000. Now it's a little over 61,000. It's about 65, 68,000 kind of thing. It went up to 74 also, 73, 74. Now the price has gone down again. Look at this. In 2010, it was 18,500. Now it is 65,000. That's a huge increase, isn't it? It actually comments this. So I wanted to show you how prices have been increasing. But you see this. I told you 2013 the price went down. You see this. 2012 it was 31,000 for 10 grams. It went down in 29,000 to 29,600. In 2014 also, you see this. These 3 years prices went down. Okay, there are reasons. We don't need to get into this. This is one of my favorite areas. Why the price went down and everything. For you, not required. Prices went up. So these things impact those who buy gold for speculation. Let me buy at a low price today and sell at a higher price tomorrow. Because gold prices has been rising, people buy today to sell tomorrow. But as you can see here, if someone had purchased at 31,000, thinking that 1 year down the line they would be able to sell at a higher price, they would have been very disappointed. It's 29,000. See, for 3 years it continued to fall. So from 2013, 2012. This again, the 31,000 price came only in 2008. So basically almost 5-6 years. It's not always that gold prices keep rising. Contrary to what you are told, gold prices always don't rise. But yes, any investment for that matter, land, subject to conditions of course, any sort of investment keeps rising, compounding over a long period of time. Knowledge compounds like that. A little today, a little tomorrow, day after tomorrow. Keep learning like that. It compounds. Small efforts lead to incremental gains in learning, my friends. Okay. I just wanted to share with you these particular things. Why people invest in gold and all that. You can see this is. Don't follow the herd. Always do your work, homework, research and everything. Just don't listen to what the people say. But please do the homework. Okay. As I told you, this is not investment advice, but gold moves the economy. We spend thousands of crores of rupees in importing gold. India imports a lot of gold. 773 tons is what we imported last year. So the year before. So it's something that we spend a lot of money on, basically. Okay. So our good old stuff that we are good at in this sort of a class. This is about Iceland. There is a map here of Europe. Hala Thomasdottir is the new president of Iceland. You can see this is Iceland here. Yeah, this is Iceland. See, for maps I'll use red and everything wherever necessary. This is Iceland. It's an island. Okay, this is on the Atlantic ridge. Basically, it's on the ridge, and because of the Atlantic ridge, volcanic plating plates and all that, it keeps there are a lot of volcanoes here, and they keep exploding. They keep erupting. Now, please understand, this is one of the very few countries in the world where the land area is rising, because there are a lot of volcanoes here along the coastline, and as they spew magma, the magma flows down to the coast and it solidifies. That's how the land extends into the sea. Okay, of course, not a lot of land, but then still, how big is this country? Just to give you an idea, you don't have to remember these things. It's about I'll use white here. Okay, it is I'll use a pen. Much better if I use a pen. 1 lakh square kilometers. Little over that actually, square kilometers. The population is, you bet, 3.6 lakh. I'll put it in caps actually, 3.6 lakh. So it's a very sparsely populated, it's the most sparsely populated country in Europe, my friends. Okay. So just to give you, normally I would give you the names of the leaders and all these things. It's good to learn about the leaders, but once in a while we should simply keep it simple. Okay. Simply keep it simple. This is Sweden. You see this, I'll give you some extra dope today. Okay. Let me use the red here. This Iceland plus Norway, this is Norway. Okay. Plus Sweden, this is Sweden. Norway plus Finland plus Denmark. Okay. This is Denmark. This is again Denmark. These are Faroe Islands belong to Denmark. So Sweden, Iceland, Finland, Norway, plus what's missing? Denmark. Plus Denmark, I'll use white in a while, are all Nordic countries. They are called Nordic countries. Nordic countries. Okay. So just to give you an idea, the capitals of these places. Sweden, Stockholm. Iceland, Reykjavik. It's a parliamentary system they have here. The prime minister is a person named Katrin Jakobsdottir. Sweden, Norway have constitutional monarchies. So they have a parliament. They have a prime minister, but the monarch in Sweden and Norway is the head of their countries, basically. Okay. So the Republic of Ireland's prime minister is, we were not discussing prime ministers, I think, isn't it? So the capital of Ireland is Dublin. Finland, I guess what? Helsinki. And Norway, Oslo. Okay, this is a very large country. You can see here. It actually, the pretty cold place, very cold place. It shares a small boundary with, this is Russia in yellow here. So Finland, Norway share a boundary with Russia. I'm talking of these countries. Okay. As of June 3rd, 2024, which Indian chess grandmaster has achieved a career high ELO rating of huge ELO rating, isn't it? The 4th highest in the world. That made him the world's 4th highest ranked men's chess player, Arjun Irigasi. Okay. This boy is from, Andhra Pradesh. So you can say Telugu speaking boy. Let's keep it simple. Forget Andhra Pradesh, Telangana and everything. So Gukesh, Irigasi, Pragnananda are all in the top 25. Top 25. This is, I think, 34th. And then in the top 25, there is also another guy called Vishwanathan Anand. We all are familiar. In fact, we grew up with the name of Anand. Anand made chess popular. He was world number 1 for a long time. He's a former world champion as well. He was the first recipient of the Khel Ratna Award, Major Dhyan Chand Khel Ratna Award. Okay. By the way, who is the world number 1 in men's chess? Magnus Carlsen. This is world number 4. We discussed Arjun's name. Magnus Carlsen is the world's top ranked chess player. Carlsen. Magnus Carlsen. Where? Hey, I got the spelling wrong. I think there's some kind of dyslexia here. Carlsen. Okay. I know it happens, but it's good to have, fun at one's own expense. As part of its humanitarian assistance, India has recently sent 90 tons of active pharmaceutical ingredients to make pharma, drugs and all that to Cuba. This is Cuba, my friends. This is Cuba. You can see here, this is a very large island. It is the biggest island in the Caribbean Sea. Okay. These places together are called West Indies. These islands you can see, they're all called West Indies. Now, why are they called West Indies? Because, my friends, Christopher Columbus, who you're all familiar with, came down here in 1942. He came to this place called Bahamas. In 1492, he came here. He thought he had reached India. So he called the locals Indians. And the place he called Indy. He called the local place Indy. But he came here, he came back here. See, in 1492 he went back, but he came back another 3 times. So in all, he made 4 voyages to this part of the world. And, subsequent voyages, he and others came to know that this was not India. So others named it West Indies because this was west of India. West of India. Yes, that's the reason. West of India. So, just to give you an idea, this is Jamaica. Jamaica, my friends, is, it has a constitutional monarchy. The head of the state of Jamaica is a British monarch. So, you have capital here. It's all mentioned there, Kingston. You would know these things because the World Cup cricket is happening here. There is Kingston. Bahamas is Nassau. There was a match here. Nassau. Haiti. Oh, it's one of the most lawless countries in the world. Port-au-Prince. This is Haiti. You can see here. This is Haiti. Okay. This part of the island here. This island is called Hispaniola. The western part is called Haiti. And Haiti, I think, is the most populous country in this area, West Indies. The capital is Port-au-Prince. Port-au-Prince. Puerto Rico. This is Puerto Rico. This is more or less owned by US. It's owned by US. San Juan. What is the capital? Is it mentioned there? Yeah, it is San Juan. Juan. The J is pronounced with an H. So, San Juan. Okay. So, this is Cuba, my friends. It's the only pure communist country in the Western Hemisphere. Well, on paper, it is pure, basically. Fair? It's pretty close. You see, this is Florida. A lot of Cubans had escaped to America by dinghies, by small boats and everything else. Okay. Dash defeated Borussia Dortmund to win the 15th UEFA Champions League trophy. UEFA is Union of European Football Associations. Let me repeat. Union of European Football Associations. This is such a, this is where the first highest class or first division football clubs participate. Real Madrid, Manchester United, Bayern Munich, all the Chelsea, Arsenal and all this. Now, what you need to know is that the final was held in London. And it was won by Real Madrid. Real Madrid or Madrid. Real Madrid is the highest earning, the world's #1 in earnings. The highest earning football club in the world. Think about it. How much did it make last year? It made, you wouldn't believe, it made $889 million. Can you believe this? One football club's revenue was $889 million. You make it triple eight also, it's easy. In fact, that's easy to remember. Yeah, to get the scale. $888 million in 1 year a football club made. Okay. So, I guess that should be it. Remember, FC always relates to football club. Football club. From which country did India receive the highest foreign direct investment of $11.7 billion in the previous financial year, that is FY24? We received most from Singapore. Historically, we have received most from Mauritius. Okay, in the next session, I am going to discuss FDI. I'll bring this question back and discuss FDI with some numbers, data, graphics and everything. Okay. So, let's use, most classes like this to learn something extra about a particular idea, especially economic idea like gold, FDI and all that stuff. Okay. So, I am going to bring FDI in the next class in great detail. I'll explain what is FDI, what are the numbers and how much have we received since we opened our economy, or at least from 2000 and all. Okay, there we go. Which country will host the International Air Transport Association's annual meeting? Yeah, annual airline summit. Next year it will be held in India, my friends, in India. Now, what you need to know is this body, IATA, is headquartered in a place called Montreal, which, as you know, is in Canada. Montreal. Okay, and it's headed by, it's more or less a UN, UN body, extended body basically, and it's headed by a guy called Willie Walsh. Willie Walsh. Willie Walsh. Okay, it's a consortium, it's a cartel, it's a grouping of the world's airline companies, all kinds of companies, Air India, Indigo, our own airline companies, as well as European, other parts of Asian, South Asian, all kinds of airline companies. Okay. So, that's about it. Claudia Sheinbaum is the first female president of, this is Claudia Sheinbaum, and she is the first female president of Mexico. What is it? Mexico. Mexico is an extraordinarily violent country. Very, very violent country. It is, in terms, when I say violent, it's more to do with the drug, cartels. Violence perpetrated by drug cartels. So, there is Mexico, and she is succeeding a guy called Andres Obrador. Let's call him Obrador, because there is a 4-point name, Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador. Let's keep it simple basically, Andres Obrador. Fair. Chile's president, since I mentioned president here, I'll stick with that, Gabriel Boric. Okay, Gabriel Boric. Peru, Dina Boluarte. Argentina, oh, it's a pretty, the guy is pretty controversial, Javier. I told you, in Spanish, you don't pronounce J with as a J, it's H. Javier Milei. Bolivia, Luis Arce. There we go. I guess that should be fine. India's Election Commission has said that India created a world record with 64.2 crore voters, my friends, participating. This is the participation, not basically the total electorate, okay, eligible. So, 64 crores basically people voted, cast their vote. It's a phenomenally large number. How big is this number? In China, there are no elections, so let's keep that out basically, okay? It's twice the population of, almost twice the population of the US, which is the third most populous country in the world. Okay, so that gives you a scale of this. Election Commission of India has three guys at the top. One is the Chief Election Commissioner, whose name is Rajiv Kumar, and there are two election commissioners, small s, which means for plural, two election commissioners. One is Gyanesh Kumar, the other is Sukhbir Singh Sandhu. Sukhbir Singh Sandhu. If you ever get a question like, what article of the Constitution of India, governs the Election Commission of India's working, it is Article 324. Article 324. Easy to remember. Okay, the women's singles title at the 2024 Singapore, Badminton Open was won by An Si Young. Now you must be wondering, why did I have a map there instead of this, maybe Young or some other person, basically. There is a reason behind that. Anyway, this is the winner, An Si Young. She belongs to South Korea. The men's title was won by Shi Yuki of China. Men's singles title, Shi Yuki of China. Men's singles title, Shi Yuki of China. Shi Yuki won the men's singles title. Women's singles title, An Si Young. Now, I just wanted you to have a view of where is Singapore. Okay, this is Thailand. These are our Nicobar Islands, Andaman Nicobar Islands. So, this is closer to Indonesia. Andaman Nicobar Islands are closer to Indonesia than to other parts of India. Okay. Now, this you see here at the tip, this is Singapore. This is Singapore. Singapore is about 750 square kilometers. Very small place. 25% of the land is reclaimed from the sea, filled in the sea and reclaimed as land. Okay. So, I just wanted you to know, and you can see that this is in one color. All Indonesia. This is Malaysia, Peninsular Malaysia. This is called East Malaysia. Now, this island you can see here is called Borneo. The island is called Borneo. It has three countries: Indonesia, green Malaysia, and here you can see that there is another tiny country here called Brunei. What is the country? Brunei. Yes. Okay. People often talk about Bali and all that. This is where Bali is. This is Bali. You can see here. This island is Bali. They go for a holiday, a vacation. This is Bali. Okay. This is in Indonesia. Bali is in Indonesia. Bali is a predominantly Hindu populated island in a predominantly Muslim populated country called Indonesia. Indonesia is the world's most populous Muslim country. It has more Muslims than any other country in the world. Okay. This is Ruchira Kamboj, and she's just retired, as she was India's first permanent woman representative to the United Nations. She represented India for a long time there, and she, I was reading about her, and I found that she topped the woman. She was a woman topper in the 1987 Civil Services exam. Yes, UPSC Civil Service exam, woman topper was Ruchira Kamboj, of course. Yeah, she was also the IFS, she joined the IFS, Indian Foreign Service, and she's retired almost at the very peak, my friends. Yeah. So, the theme of the 2024 World Environment Day is, World Environment Day is celebrated every year on, what is that? June 5th. And you can see that, I took this from the UN World Environment page. Yes, it's not my text. What does it say? Every 5 seconds, the equivalent of one football pitch of soil is eroded. Think about that. Every 5 seconds, every 5 seconds. So think about the amount of soil that is getting degraded basically, okay? Because see, this is very difficult to regenerate because it takes 1000 years to generate 3 centimeters of topsoil. Yeah, I mean, we are somewhere going the path of devastation, destruction. So again, you look at this. Why trees? We have often been told that we should plant trees, we should go for afforestation, large-scale afforestation, especially in urban areas, because trees in urban areas can cool the air by up to 5 degrees Celsius. Can you beat that? Okay, so but then we would rather stay in an AC than plant a tree. Of course, see this lakes, rivers and wetlands hold about 30%, 20 to 30% of world carbon, despite occupying only about 8% of its land surface. So they are more like sinks. So they're absorbing everything. But unfortunately, they're all shrinking as well because of human activity. Human activity. Okay. So, short on troops. Oh, let me clear this, my friends. Short on troops, the Australian military will begin recruiting what? Can you believe this question? Can you believe it's very difficult to believe this idea itself. Australia will recruit citizens from other countries. 5 countries. What are the 5 countries? These are all Anglosphere countries, English speaking countries. What are they? Canada. This is Canada. United States. UK, okay, Australia and New Zealand. So these 5 countries they make what is called the 5 Eyes Intelligence Network. Intelligence Network. So they share a lot of intelligence data gathered, from sources, from signal intelligence, human intelligence, every kind of thing, especially if it pertains to common threats, cyber threats, Islamic terrorism, today Bitcoin, what we say, cyber crime as well, basically, okay, not just cyber threats, cyber crime, this is expanding a lot. So 5 countries have come together to form this. This is the pretty old alliance. It's called the 5 Eyes Intelligence Network. So these are the 5 countries, my friends. Okay. This entire thing about Canada leveling allegations against India, that India was trying to kill some Sikh dissidents, Sikh terrorists on Canadian soil. And they said that we have got this information from the 5 Eyes Network. This is the 5 Eyes Network. Okay, yeah. So, a lot of things are happening, my friends. Okay. Maybe in one of the classes, I will discuss intelligence agencies. I love discussing them. So, I will bring them to you. Okay. So, by the way, how big is Australia? Just to give you an idea, Australia is super big. Australia is 77 lakh square kilometers big. That's the area. India's is 32.87. Take 33. So is 33. This is 77 lakh square kilometers. Their population, ladies and gentlemen, is 2.6 crore. 2.6 crore. Yes. Our population is 140 plus crore. Theirs is 2.6 crore. Yeah. Salil Parekh is India's second highest paid IT executive, and he is the CEO of, this is Salil Parekh, he is the CEO of Infosys. TCS CEO is Kriti Kritivasan. HCL Technologies, C. Vijaya Kumar. It's one word. Vijaya Kumar is one word. Wipro, Srinivas Pallia, new CEO. Srinivas Pallia. Tech Mahindra, Mohit Joshi. I think Mohit Joshi, yes. So these are the CEOs, my friends. Okay. So let's get on with the business here. Who has become the first woman to pilot a new spacecraft on maiden crew? This is Sunita Williams, and she's been to the space in the past. The first time she went into space was in 2006. She has again gone to space now on board a Boeing Starliner capsule. She was, she's an American citizen. People often say that she's of Indian origin. Yes, she's of Indian origin in one way. Her father was a Gujarati. Her father, Deepak Pandey, was a Gujarati. Okay, mother was a Slovenian. Slovenia, as you know, is a place in Europe. It's a country in Europe. But other than that, she was born in the US, my friends. Okay, I guess we'll not spend much time on this. After Spain, Norway, and Ireland, which European country has recognized Palestine as a state? Slovenia. I just mentioned Slovenia. It's come here. Slovenia, because with the rest of the choices are easy to know, like Latvia we discussed in the previous class. Slovenia, the capital is Ljubljana. This is the capital. And the prime minister here is a guy called Robert Golob. Robert Golob. Robert Golob. Okay, I guess that should be it. I'll not spend time on this as well, because see, the idea here is to learn things that we don't know, especially see when we in the past had discussed Palestine. But anyway, Palestine comprises two parts. One is West Bank. The other is Gaza. Other is Gaza. So let me give you an idea. Where are these places? This is Gaza. This is West Bank, Syria, Jordan, Egypt, Israel. This is Lebanon. There is a place here called Golan Heights. Okay. So these two, Gaza and West Bank, are Palestine, my friends. Okay. There is a river here called Jordan. There is a river here called Jordan. This settlement of Palestinians is located on the west bank of River Jordan. That's why it's called West Bank. That's it, nothing else. Okay. This Golan Heights was occupied by Israel in the 1967 war against Muslim countries, and this was Syrian territory. Syrian territory. See, we can learn a lot of good things, provided we have a lot of time for each of these things. In the QS World, University Rankings 2025, the world's for the last 13 years, one university has been at the very top, and that is Massachusetts Institute of Technology, which is MIT. The second, this is number 2. Number 3 is University of Oxford. Number 3. India's highest ranked is IIT Bombay. IIT Bombay. I think the rank was 118. Global rank is 118. Fair. So, in which country was the inaugural meeting of the Biopharmaceutical Alliance held? The US. Biopharmaceutical Alliance is designed to, improve the supply chain of biopharmaceutical products. Now, the idea behind this is this alliance comprises United States, as you would guess, the European Union, India, South Korea, and Japan. So, these are the parties in the Biopharmaceutical Alliance. They are all coming together to keep the, the supply chain intact, basically, to make sure that there is no disruption in supply chain of biopharmaceutical products. The Indo-Pacific Economic Framework for Prosperity ministerial meeting was held in Singapore. We just discussed Singapore a while ago. And Singapore has a new Prime Minister, Lawrence Wong. Lawrence Wong. Well, I guess that's about it. There's not much to discuss in this question as well. If there is something, I would definitely tell you that. World Food Safety Day is observed every year on, June 7th, yeah. June 8th is World Ocean Day. World Ocean Day. June 5th, you would know, World Environment Day. World Environment Day. That's about it. So, June 1st is World Milk Day. There are a lot of things like this. Sarabjit Singh has won the gold medal in the men's 10-meter air pistol event at the ISSF World Cup. This was held, the only thing you should know is it was held in Munich. It was held in Munich. Munich, as you know, is in Germany. It's in Germany. It's also, this is a city where you have the office of BMW. The head office of BMW, Bayerische Motor and Werke, luxury car maker. Okay. Let me clear this. The RBI. Yes, this is interesting. The RBI has constituted a committee under dash AP Hota. This is the former chairperson of NPCI. NPCI is National Payments Corporation of India Limited. National Payments Corporation of India Limited. He is ex-MD CEO, and he is heading a committee to improve digital public infrastructure so as to minimize cyber frauds, payment frauds, cyber payments frauds. A lot of payment frauds are happening these days. So, to minimize those payment frauds, we need to put in place a certain kind of digital public, public digital infrastructure, So, that's the idea. That kind of infrastructure is missing. So, they're going to make, they're going to study the entire ecosystem and come up with recommendations that will help the government, set up this kind of infrastructure. So, you see these are all Mahesh Kumar Jain, ex-RBI Deputy Governor, Yaga Venugopal Reddy, Chakravarti C. Rangarajan, Chakravarti Rangarajan, I think, Duvvuri Subbarao, ex-RBI governors. Deputy Governor was M.K. Singh, Mahesh Kumar Jain, I'm so sorry. According to the RBI's bi-monthly monetary policy announcement on 7th June, what is the current repo rate? Now, repo rate is the rate of interest charged by the RBI on short-term loans to commercial bank. What is it? Let me tell you. It's a rate of interest. It's an interest rate. It's an interest rate that RBI charges. When it lends on loans to RBI loans to commercial banks. Commercial banks. That's it. Nothing else. So, RBI lends to commercial banks, it charges a certain rate of interest, and that is 6.5%. 6.5%. Now, there are a couple of, look, when we say repo rate, remember always, repo rate is short term, I think I'll just clear this. It's short term, of less than 1 year duration. So, short term loans, interest rate charged by RBI on short term loans to commercial banks. Okay, short term loans to commercial banks. Bank rate. Bank rate is the rate of interest charged by the RBI on long term loans to commercial banks. So, if it's a loan that the RBI makes that's of more than 1 year duration, the interest rate charged by RBI is 6.75%. So, the longer the duration, the more the interest rate here in this case. Okay. So, just remember one thing, repo rate is, this is repo rate, this is bank rate, bank is long term, this is short term loans which RBI lends to commercial banks, but there is something called reverse repo. What is it? Reverse repo. Here in reverse repo, RBI borrows from commercial banks. RBI borrows from commercial banks. The rate of interest is 3.35%. Yes, RBI charges more but pays less. Okay, that's the idea. So, on short-term loans that RBI borrows from commercial banks, it pays an interest of 3.35%. That's about it. Okay. If you have any queries, you get in touch with us. Write an email to info at time4education.com. time4education.com. Okay, time4education.com. Feel free to contact, communicate with us, my friends. Thank you for being here. Stay curious. Thank you.